Go on, get in. Go on, get in. Put the dogs in. Go on, in. In there. Dee. Hello, everyone. Why is Shadowboxer such a sausage? It's in his nature, mate. It's in his nature. Wrong ones like that are always going to be sausages, aren't they? It's in his nature. So, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First and foremost, trolls, travelling banter, yes, brother. Happy New Year, everyone. First and foremost, like trolls reaching out to my sponsorships, to the guys who sponsored me, the businesses that sponsored me. They've had a couple of nasty messages and nasty comments left on their platforms and their social media platforms, saying that I'm mixing with wrong-uns and that I'm a wrong-un myself, that I'm a woman beater, and this, that, and the other. Like, absolutely crazy. I can't believe how bitter and twisted and, you know, how hateful people can be. It's just mad. It's mad. But it is what it is. It is what it is. A wrong-un will always be a wrong-un. Amen to that. I mean, I don't get me wrong, look, I do watch all the stuff that goes on YouTube the last few weeks, especially over the Christmas time, because I've been, you know, we've got nothing else to do, have we? We just sit and watch all the stuff that's going on YouTube, and Shadowboxer is the new Decker Eggy in my eyes. He's even worse. You know, he's clearly making lies up about Brian Morrow asked me to post a video up about calling the Shadowboxer out. So I posted it up, and now all of a sudden he's my minion, and I put him up to it. No, I never put up to it. Shadowboxer called out every Englishman. You know, anyone from England, every Englishman. Now all of a sudden he's got Englishmen messaging him. Tom Little, Brian Morrow. I see a couple of people messaging him and calling him out for a fight. And yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. The other one that this trolls, people who obviously don't like me, people who obviously have got who've got issues with me for whatever reason they've created in their own head, messaging people who are sponsoring me, you know, people who are helping me on this bare knuckle journey that I'm on, you know, and messaging them, trying to put a stop to it, saying like you're sponsoring a wrong, and you're sponsoring a woman beater, you know, calling me Western shit, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, like. It's crazy, crazy. What's your advice for staying off drugs, mate? Because when there's always relapse, you've got to put something in place. You've got to look at fellowship, you know, spirituality, you know, work on a program. You've got to put something in place for your drug use. Otherwise, you just always go back to doing what you do best, which is taking drugs. That's my story anyway. Street Beefs UK. So I want to talk a bit about street beefs. So we've had to change the venue. The police have put a stop to where we to the Fesh Road, the original plans. The police have put a stop to it. They were worried about antisocial behaviour, and where it was open land. You know, it was fenced off, it was gated off, but it was open land, and it you know, we wanted to keep it authentic, like it was on the streets, but it obviously it's not going to be that way now. We've had to book a venue. We've had to change it all around and do it all properly, which it was done properly anyway. We had licenses, we had medical teams, judges, ring announcers. We had everything. We've got everything. It was just going to be like a street thing, you know, like street thing. But we've had to change the venue. The venue will be announced on a Friday night it's not getting announced now because there's too many hateful people out there. There's too many jealous, hateful, deceitful, envious people out there that just want to put a stop to anything you try and do. So I mean, that's part of the parcel. It's part of being a content creator, isn't it? I suppose. But better seeing you, kid. Yes, brother. It's part of the parcel of being a content creator. Because well, like it or lump it, that's what we are. You know, anyone who comes on social media, i.e., YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and does content for the public to see, puts themselves out there, regardless of what their content is. You know, they are content creators, and they're going to get targeted. You know, like it or lump it, you're going to get targeted. Yes, the engine's down up you well, brother. But other than that, I'm not asked. Like, it only took a 2-minute conversation with one or two of my sponsors to explain why these people will be sending them messages, why these people don't want them on board with me. Yes, Vinyl Sounds, up you well, mate. Why these people don't want these guys sponsoring me is all down to jealousy, envy, hatred, and just being judgmental pricks, you know. So it took me literally a minute or two to explain that to the guys who were sponsoring me, and yeah, job done. So if you're watching and hating and think you can put a stop to anything that's going on in my life, then be my guest and try. Be my guest, because even though it's bad publicity and it's hateful, and you've got all these faceless channels talking about me and Danny, and talking about Shadow Boxer, and yeah, it's. I think it's sad that we get tied in the same brush as the likes of Shadow Boxer and Dekaregi and the rest of the fucking wrong'uns. I think it's sad that we all get put in that same category. But then, how can I let a faceless account who wants to bash us or talk about us or pinch our content and make content off our content? How can we let them even bother us? They haven't even got the balls to show their own face. So like, it doesn't matter, does it? Do you know what I mean? Like, they can it's their God-given right, and they're going to make money off the back of other content creators, which is, it's a clever thing to do. It's a clever thing to do because you imagine, these faceless accounts showing their face and trying to tell us a bit about themselves. Oh, I couldn't imagine them really. There's the reason why they're hiding their identities. The reason why they're hiding their face. There's the reason why they target people like fighters and people like myself and Danny Christie and other guys who come online and talk about themselves, who have content to put out there. That's worth watching. These faceless accounts are just stealing everybody else's content, or that they'll do content off the back of everybody else's. Do you know what I mean? So I'm cool with it. To be fair, I'm fine with it, because at the end of the day, it's just promotion, isn't it? It's always going to promote me and my channel. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But we've got some decent fights on the Street Beast UK now. We've got some decent fights. We've got Mikey B and Connor John. They're coming down to perform their songs. They've got beef. Whether you think it's fake or not, it doesn't matter, does it? It's beef with Bad Boy Chiller Crew. They've got a new track coming out on the day before our event, and they're going to come down and play an exclusive live for us at our event. So yeah, I'm moving more. SOG, yes, my brother. Just jelly, mate. Stop it. That's it, mate. That's it. I know where the hatred comes from. Sometimes I can think why, like where did it come from? How? Why? But in hindsight, the hatred's always going to come because we are online. We're talking online. We're showing our face. We're showing our identity. I mean, I speak for myself when I say, look, I come on here and I speak about all types of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And my vulnerabilities, my insecurities. I speak about addiction, mental health, autism awareness. My channel's not just focused on one thing. And I try and switch it up and swap it up. 1 minute I'm posting about pads and boxing and fighting. The next thing I'm speaking about autism awareness, and then I'm speaking about mental health or addiction. Yeah. Do you have a day job? Yes, I have a day job. I work fucking stupid hours, man. I work absolutely crazy hours. I'm a personal trainer. And my first job starts at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And I have clients that are all different hours. Plenty of bellends in the chat today. Yep, there certainly is. It's okay. They're still in the chat. They're still chatting. They're still commenting. These trolls have you. That's it, Gemma. That's it. That's it. It's all right, isn't it? If you haven't got trolls, you're doing something wrong. Dangerous Darren. Thank you, Dangerous Darren. Appreciate it, brother. SH Legal. Happy New Year, brother. Yes, mate. Bobby Sutherland. Hello, mates. Yes, just man up. Yes, Lindsay. What do you think about Ebenezer going full on Danny? Ebenezer. Oh, that again, it's a faceless account. Ebenezer Greensplat. I'm pretty sure it doesn't bother Danny. You know, Ebenezer's getting a good following. He's doing big numbers, and yet he's talking about me and Danny Christie and other content creators. So it can't be a bad thing, can it? It can't be a bad thing. Danny McBride, my BKFC debut is probably going to be in May. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. I can't wait to get back in there and compete. I only answer messages on Instagram, mate. I don't answer messages on any other platform, mate. Thank you for that, mate. Ralph, thank you, mate. I appreciate that, mate. Family fest, mate. Family fest. Like I said, I'll always put my family first. I live for my family. They're the most important things in the world today to me. So anything else is just a bonus. Do you know what you've started? No, brother, what have I started? Yes, final sounds. Cheers, brother. Family fest, man. I do want the ones, mate. I do want the ones, mate. Damn boy, ignore me about DC. No, I'm not ignoring no one. I just can't keep up with the comments. They're coming thick and fast. And plus, if I'm ignoring you, that's my God-given right to ignore you. But I'm going to admit I'm not ignoring you. I haven't seen your comments. Ask again. Ask again what you're saying about Danny. What's your thoughts on Winstrol? I don't like it, brother. I don't like Winstrol. I think it's I don't like any fat burners, to be fair. Anavar is as good as it gets for me when I'm stripping and all that. I think Winstrol's it's not fucking good on your organs, your vital organs and your insides, brother. Brownie, happy New Year, brother. Someone's just commented saying I'm ignoring questions about Danny. I haven't seen you ask a question about Danny. Do some content with Matt Legg. Train next fight. Yeah, Matt Legg's class, man. I'd love to do a bit of content. Hope you knock his ego straight out of him. So that's what you thought I was ignoring. You hope I knock the ego out straight. I was expecting a bit of a darker fucking different comments, but what do you think of Shadow Boxer? I think he's an absolute wrong'un. Sex case, a grass, openly grassing on Brett May. Made a video saying he'd phoned the police on Brett May, so he's a grass. Been to jail for sex crimes and is a fucking clown. You can't speak to him in private because he plays your voice messages. So that for me is a man with no honour. He's giving it big licks because he beat a guy up called Andy Goy. The man is a fucking... The man's never won a fight. He's never won a fight. Andy Goy's never won a fight. And then when he's beat a man called Andy Goy, like he did, then he's calling out all the Englishmen. He's calling out myself. He's calling out Danny Christie. He's calling out Mike Perry. I watch his videos. I do watch his videos. You know, I do watch him. I can't believe, you know, people know what he is and what he's being charged for and are still supporting him. Like, I've spoke to him in private. I've never once supported him. I've told him what I think of him. I've told him in private what I think of him. And I will still continue to speak to him in private, tell you exactly what I think of him. You know, but I've got to be careful now because he's a grass, isn't he? And he plays all the voice messages on YouTube for the whole world to see, which is a grass and no honour. He's a bad grass. Anton, Yorkshire one, what you saying, mate? What you saying? Missed your comments, mate. Brett is a stick. Are you fighting karate, Marty? I'm a fuck. Fighting karate, Marty. I don't support a sex message beyond me, like, Exactly. He's not just a pest, mate. He's been charged for sex crimes, mate. Oh, Yorkshire divvy. Oh, Yorkshire, what's he saying? Boy, you knocked the lad out. He's big and you know that. He's playing you like fiddles. He never grasped on him. Paulie knocked you out. Who knocked me out? I'm talking to the Lindsay account, Paul. He's a drip. Ah, just it's up to you, mate. Paulie knocked you. He'd knock you out. Ah, okay. Shadow boxer would knock me out. Just saying you are Karate Mighty chat shit, bro. I'm not fighting Karate Mighty. I'm not fighting Karate Mighty. Said I'd spar with him. Said I'd go through and train with him, but I wouldn't fight him. What's the point of me fighting him and fucking destroying him? But I do like him. I do like Mighty. You got caught injection bacon juice into Shadow's ass. Shadow would destroy you. Robert Bryan, you know nothing about boxing or fighting in general if you think shadow boxing would beat any decent fighter. Never mind just me. You ever trained with Jack Draper? I'm training with Jack Draper this month, 8th of January. I'm training with him. Travel and banter, yes, my brother. James O'Neill, big love, my man. Sharon Cleland, Happy New Year, darling. Good things to do in Borough on a day out. Find a hotel, stay in the hotel room, and don't leave. Borough's a fucking shithole. It will be good footage of me and Jap. Oh, I've got some news as well. I'm arranging to spar with Dave Allen, which I'm fucking really excited about. Really, really, really excited about. Dave Allen, massive fan of Dave Allen's. Not even just his boxing. I just love the way he carries himself, the way he talks. You know, any interview he does, he's fucking brilliant. The way he talks and that, the way he carries himself. I'm looking forward to going sparring with him next week. Big mush, big massive dude. Should be good. Should be good. Probably get my head punched in, but who cares? It's all a learning curve. People trying to bait you with the fighting shadow bit, mate. Do you want to know something? The White Rhino, that's the one, mate. Do you want to know something? Listen, I tried to speak to Shadow Boxer in private. I tried to arrange a fight with Shadow Boxer in private. You know, even went as far as trying to get him in the BKFC to fight. But they won't touch him because of his checkered past. They won't touch him because of his past. You know, it's all like him saying he's the money man. He's a fucking clown. Like what? Like you only need to look at the man and listen to him talk to know that the man hasn't got a fucking penny. The man is skinned to the eyeballs. And he's a fucking scumbag. You know, he's an absolute grass, dirty, wronging, sex offender, tramp. That's what he is. You know, so he's not gonna get on any type of show. BKFC, BKB won't even fucking touch him. You know, the only fights he's gonna get are the ones where he tells you that he's made this and he's made that. He's got this and he's got that. You know, you only need to watch his fucking footage of him sparring and jumping around shadowboxing in his front room. Go watch him sparring in Thailand to see that he's an absolute melt. The only reason he turned up and fought against Andy Goy and people are giving him respect for that. Like how can you give him respect? It's like me turning up to fight Bash. Like, would anyone respect me going to fight Bash? Would anyone respect me going to fight Shadowboxer? Truth. In this chat now, who would like to see me? I mean, I shouldn't say that because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people would like to see me smash his head in. But truthfully, who would pay? Who would come to watch me fight Shadowboxer? It'd be about a minute. It wouldn't even take me a minute. As soon as I hit him, he's gone over. Fucking hell, there's a guy from Ireland who punched him and he was rolling over saying he had enough. He's a fucking clown. Hello, my girl. Hello. So, are you okay? Are you okay? Okay. Oh, you daddy shouting, man. Did you daddy shouting, man? What's up? Yeah, what's up? You won't let me do this loud, yeah? What's up? What's up? What was that? What was that? She's heard me shouting and come in. I know she's come in with her fingers in her ears. That's why she come in. Yeah, so as I was saying, like, if someone was going to pay to watch a fight, you want it to be a good fight. If someone's going to fight, you want it to see, you want to see a good fight. You don't want to see fucking a one-sided matchup. You know, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. You know, the only reason I was saying I would fight Shadowbox is just to shut him up. Just to embarrass him, just to show the world that he's a fucking sausage and a proper grass and a wrong and a bacon. He's just a new Decoreggi 0.50, isn't he? It's exactly what he is. And people are going to support him. People are going to follow him. They're going to support him. They're going to comment and tell him how fantastic he is. And I just can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. And yet people want to hit on the likes of Danny Christie, saying he's a wrong and he's this and he's that. Danny's sat there and told you exactly what he is. He's repented. He's shown remorse. He's shown guilt. He's shown shame over his actions of what he's done in the past. Has Shadowboxer ever showed 1 ounce of fucking shame? No. All he does is tell you that he's never done it. It was all a setup, and he was framed. It's fucking bullshit. He's been to jail for fucking sex crimes. It's one of the hardest things to get charged for. You don't go to jail for framed. Like, one of the hardest things to get charged for is a sex crime. He's been to jail for sex crimes, and yet people in his comment section were telling him how fantastic he is. Shame on you. Shame on you, honestly, because people going over there and supporting are wrong and like that, and he's just making up lies every single day. Like, every single word that comes out that fucking bacon's mouth is a lie. You know, talking about how I'm getting Tom Little to message him, or I'm getting Brian Morrow to fucking. I posted the video because Bri asked me to. You know, I like Bri. Bri's keen. Bri's, you know, and he's not the most gifted or talented fighter in the world, but he's traveling around and he's winning because he's got heart. Now, he's not going to fight anyone like that. Shadowbox is not going to fight anyone with a couple of wins on his belt. He's going to fight some people who are falling behind the win categories, you know, losing fights week in, week out. Those are the guys he's going to fight. It's all right shouting me and Danny out for clout and licks and clicks and fucking likes and all that shit, but in hindsight, he's not going to meet me. He's not going to meet Danny. He's just going to shit himself and want a back and forth video like I'm giving him now, you know, which wasn't my plans when I first come live, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Other than that, you know, what else is there to say about Shadowboxer? You know, other than that, he's a fucking donut. He chats shit. He's deluded. He's an absolute delusional weirdo. Like, absolutely. You know, I was willing to, and I hate the man. I hate him. Honestly, he's a vile, disgusting piece of shit. But when I was trying to talk to him in private, like a man, like two men do, two men who really truly want to fight, speak in private and arrange it in private, and then air the shit out and say this is happening, that's happening. Once action is put into place, then men talk about it. Now, just to let the public know, or let the viewers know what's going on. We don't get that with him. You have a conversation with him, he posts it on YouTube because he's a wrong'un. So that's what he does. You know, I was sending him voice message after voice message, trying to arrange a fight, trying to get him door, trying to sort it out on BKFC for you guys to see me punch that fucking wrong'un's head in. I was trying to speak to him in private. What does he go and do? He goes and plays it on YouTube, our private conversations. That's a man with no honor. That's your typical wrong'un. He is a typical bacon wrong'un who doesn't truly want to fight. Because listen, I've got voice messages and messages that he sent me. You know, I wouldn't play them. I wouldn't show them. The only messages that I show on YouTube is someone calling my wife and kids because they need exposing for that. You know, but if people want to fight, or they've got an opinion on me, you know, I will engage with them. You know, I'll speak to them in private. Not a problem. I just don't get how people are going over there and supporting him and subscribing him. It's fucking crazy. YouTube is a very vile, sick place to be. Sadly, I'm on here, you know, trying to keep it positive, but you always get drawn out and it's shit. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, when I go live, nothing's off topic. I'll always do my best to speak my mind and speak honestly. What about DC's victims? What about DC's victims? What about DC's victims? What about him? Like, he's What are you doing? DC's victims, you're putting him in the same category as Shadow Boxer. What victims has he got? Like, I have got victims, people who are robbed, people who are hurt for nothing, people who, when I was involved in crime and on them streets, I get people, I did bad shit. I never hit a lady, never hit a woman. I've never done any sex crimes. I've never done anything like that, but I've done bad shit. We've all got victims to address, but you're putting Danny in the same category as these fucking bacons and wrong'uns and grasses and fucking sex offenders. And you're just as bad as Shadow Boxer when you're accusing a man of things that he hasn't done. And I know the upbringing that Danny had. I know the things that he went through. He's want to crucify him for beating his mum up or hitting his mum. You don't know the full story. You don't know what's going on. Danny's said it on podcasts that he was born into a world of addiction. He was born an heroin addict. He was born on drugs. Let that sink in a sec. Can you imagine the resentments and the feelings that man's got going through his body towards, whatever. Thank God that Danny's the man he is today, that owns up to his shit. What you see is what you get with Danny Christie. He's honest, he's open, he talks his shit. I'm going to punch his head in for what he said about me, but what you guys say about him and what you put on him is fucking wrong. Like, you couldn't be more wrong. Just man up. Who's the hardest puncher you've ever fought? Hardest puncher I've ever fought. Lucas Probiak, Polish dude. He's still fighting in bare knuckle now. Yeah. Lucas Probiak. He fights in Gamada now. They're calling the GOAT. He's a big mush. That's it, Yorkshire one. I'll check him out. Go check him out, mate. I fought Lucas. I knocked him out in the first round, but thank God that I did, because that man would have been coming forward and landing big shots. I said he ain't a faster fan of Christie fan, but Danny didn't mention his mum. No one would have known about it. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about Danny. You don't have to be a big fan of Danny's. You don't have to be a big fan of mine. You find yourself that most of the people you watch on YouTube you don't like. There's most of the channels that I watch every single day I fucking hate. I hate them, but I still watch them. Can you imagine how many people watch me and don't like me? It's YouTube, isn't it? 9 times out of 10, the people that you watch you don't like. I can count on one hand the YouTube channels that I actually enjoy watching. I'm actually subscribed to because I enjoy their content. There's only a handful. The rest of them on this dark side of YouTube that I do watch, I hate. It makes my skin crawl. I disagree with everything that they say. I disagree with all the content. I disagree with the full fucking channel. But yeah, I'm still watching every single day. I'm still watching. He didn't have to admit that. No, he didn't. But it's regardless of what he's admitted and what he said, it doesn't matter. It's how he carries himself today. In the eyes of Jesus, we are learned to forgive. We've got to move on and forgive ourselves and forgive other people that have harmed us. And try and seek forgiveness from people we've hurt in the past. I don't see Shadow Boxer doing that. In fact, Shadow Boxer is trying to drag it out again. He's saying it's all a fix. He's got no concerns of the victim that he hurt, like what he's ready to put her through again, trying to take it back to court and saying there's a documentary and putting his. It's just fucking vile. It's vile. The things that Danny did in his past. He's close with his mum. He's back with the missus that he's. That they've obviously fucking had back and forth with. Danny's a good man. Are you subscribed to Tank? I'm a fuck. Dangerous Darren, thank you, brother. Man, you're obsessed with Shadow Boxer. Maybe ignore him. Cliff, I'm not obsessed. It's people like yourself who keep mentioning him in the comment section. So I'm answering questions and that's why I'm talking about him. See, Tank is in Ireland. He said it on his other video. I don't care about Tank. I really don't. I think it's now. I really do think his content is absolutely terrible. I think it's shit. Like, I don't find it funny. I don't think it's cool. I don't think he's given anything back to the public. I think it's just stupid. You know, there's only so, you know, the same shit, different day, and it's just fucking stupid. He's not taking it to court, Paul. European court said 3,600 highest injustice. Only rule 1,000. He admitted guilt and appeal the court. Ah, right. Well, sometimes, do you know what it is? It's just that some of the shit that he comes out with when he's saying that he's taking it back to court, he's appealing against it. Yeah. Tank is a proper sausage in a mask, like proper weirdo. Like, that's a grown man in that mask. You do know that, don't you? The Shadow Boxer and the Beast were to fight. Who wins? I'm assuming you're on about Dekaregi is the Beast. Dekaregi beats Shadow Boxer with ease. How many fights on the 6? I think there's 15 fights, mate. Steve Robinson, yes, mate. Bet mate takes it up the arse. Nothing Brett will be too happy about that. Oh. Royal Rumble of all the guys. Be funny, wouldn't it? Right, guys, I'm going to shoot anyway. Yeah, I haven't been live for a while, so I just thought I'd just touch on a few topics. I knew when I was coming live that there was going to be loads of questions that I wasn't planning on talking about, but like I said, I always say when I come live, there's nothing off topic. You know, if you guys if you take a moment out of your day to come in my live and ask me questions, then who am I to ignore you? Who am I not to answer as honest as possible? Yeah, I missed some of the comments. I can't keep up with the questions. You know, my comment section does go fast on the live bit, so I can only answer what I can answer. But I do my best to answer as honest and as open as possible. So this is why I'm talking about bacons and grasses and fucking wrong'uns and people that, yeah. Sorry about what you're saying there. Why? But if you don't wear a mask and speak the truth, your family and the businesses get targeted, mate. Yeah, but that just shows how much of a coward you are. If you have to, why talk about people that you're dead sure? If you wouldn't talk about these people, if people knew who you were, do you understand what I'm saying? Like how much of a shithouse you are. If you can, it's the famous saying, isn't it? Don't say nothing behind someone's back. You wouldn't say it in the face. Now, 9 times out of 10, these faceless accounts wouldn't dream of speaking the way they do if people knew who they were, if people knew their identity. You know, if someone was coming on YouTube and showing their identity and saying the things they said about Danny Christie or Paddy Conroy or myself or Brett May or all these content creators, it wouldn't be happening, would it? These Ebenezers and Bellenders and, you know, I've got no issues with these channels, but I don't like them, but I still watch the content every day. These guys wouldn't dream of speaking about guys like myself and Danny Christie and Paddy Conroy and fucking all these guys, all these other content creators. They just wouldn't. They just wouldn't. They wouldn't speak a fucking word wrong about us content creators. Do you know why? Because that's the reason why they're hiding their identity, so they can speak the way they're speaking. Because it's cowardly. It's scared. They're shit scared. They're petrified. That's the main reason. Now this will be all over their channels later, and they'll be saying, "No, the reason why we do this is because this." No. You're scared. That's why you don't show your identity. That's why you wear a mask. That's why you hide behind keyboards. That's why you don't show your faces. It's as simple as that. Fact. Like, convince me otherwise. Anyone with half a brain, anyone with half a brain knows for a fact that if you're hiding your identity and talking about people like myself, it's because you're scared. It's because you're a shithouse. Because you're a coward. It's because you wouldn't do it if people knew who you were. End of. Like, there's no other reason, is there? Because if we knew who they were and they were showing their identity, they wouldn't be speaking the way they are, would they? Fact. Put your stream yard up for people to come on. Wouldn't dare, mate. I wouldn't dare. No one's coming to my life, mate. It's simple as that. Right. Take care. God bless.